So this is my 10th State of the Centre address to you. And as I've said to you, I think every year it is hard for me to believe that time has passed so quickly, particularly the last 12 months, where if you had told me that we would be standing here 12 months later having been a hospital and now a vaccination centre, I wouldn't have believed you. It's been harder than any of us thought to not see each other, to not be with each other, to not have the value of being with friends and with colleagues every day. It has been difficult, but we are beginning to see now fruits of many things, including our expansion. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the efforts of all of those who came in every day to both build the hospital, to help operate the hospital, and to manage the building as a medical station. Those were not easy days in anyone's imagination. We've become now the light at the end of that long tunnel by providing vaccinations to as many as 14,000 people a day, a record that I think will stand for a long time. We've been operating at a world record pace, and we're about to expand our vaccination operation to twice the size of its current standards. People love it. If you look at all at social media, you will see what they have to say. And things like our wall of thanks, where people get to express their feelings about being here, are especially significant. It's really quite emotional to stand there in front of that wall and see what people have to say. And I think with that kind of pace, we're hoping that we'll be able to hit 500,000 people vaccinated here at Javits within the next 2 months. We now see vaccination as a way of ensuring that the building can return to its former glory, and we can once again be a building for meetings and conferences and trade shows. We expect to be in this kind of condition for the next several months. I would anticipate that by June we will have done enough in this vaccination program for us to think that being back to a convention center is possible, but I'm not sure that we'll be in a situation to become a convention center until about September. We are hoping still to have events in July and August, but it's very hard for our event customers to plan at this point when they don't know how many people they'll be allowed to have in a building. We've cemented an image with our customers that will benefit us all. We are seen as a leader in this space, and that will help us as we come back. We think hybrid is going to be a big part of our future. Not that people will not want to meet again, but when they do meet, they will also want to have the ability to broadcast their message to people further away. This is a digital space that you can use to plug in and put anything on the web through any platform at any time. We have created a reopening guide which we've given to all of our customers and which talks about the precautions that we think they should undertake. We don't know whether there will be 50% occupancy or 75% occupancy. We're working with government to try and get those definitions now. What we do know is that there continues to be a real hunger to meet. We do know that there's a wish on the part of both the state and the city for this economic engine of the event business to start again and to begin to reinvent the city of New York. So right now our expansion is about 95% complete. We expect to be opening the building in May. The outdoor pavilion, the farm and the garden will be available mid-summer because we have some work to do in the plantings there. But by the time we get to September, we'll be fully open and fully operative. We'll be booking business in there that we have not had before, because the kind of business that we can attract to that space is different. The outdoor space that we built, which we always knew would be attractive, is now doubly attractive because it's outdoors and because it's large enough to attract about 1,000 people. So once we get the expansion open, once we get back to having those kind of events that we're also familiar with, then we can certainly expect to see business in New York changing, to see Broadway coming back, to see hotels filling, and to see restaurants being open again. All of those things are things that I just can't wait to see happen. We've taken advantage as much as we can of the time when we've been quiet to do new infrastructure projects. One of the most important that you will see is the completion of the Bollard project on 11th Avenue and 34th Street, including the installation of mechanical raptors, which will allow us to seal off the building should there be any attempt by anyone to enter the building inappropriately. Now you will see solar units being installed and battery power storage units being installed in our new transformer building. All of it a move towards continuing the sustainability progress that we've made so far. And of course, the bees have not gone away. We've been able to make that program something that has meshed in with our vaccination program. I like to go up in the morning and give the first person online for a vaccination a jar of honey. There have also been a number of changes in the neighborhood. And the one I'm most excited about is the potential connection of the High Line to Javits and across 12th Avenue to the Hudson River Park. This is something that's been a dream for us for a long time. We're also seeing, as part of that program, a connection to Penn Station. So you'll be able to take a ferry from New Jersey or a subway to Penn Station, and all will connect together at the High Line and the Javits extension. Really an exciting project and a very different look for us. In other area developments, the Site K, which is directly across the street from us on 36th Street and 11th Avenue, it's a 1.2 acre space that was originally designed as a bus drop-off for the Javits back in 1986. That is now being put up for sale, and the funds from that sale will eventually feed back to us through the Convention Center Development Corporation, who owns the land. You will all see, not just in the Hudson Yards, but in buildings along 11th Avenue. There are new hotels, there are new residences, there are new business operations. It's a different world in the last 12 months. So how do we see events when they do return in the fall of this year? Well, they will probably be smaller in the beginning. No one is really looking to throw a huge amount of investment in the short term at our business. However, one of the things that's been quite evident as we've looked at the last 12 months has been how much everyone has missed being with each other. While we need to continue to be cautious in the short term, the outlook for the events, meetings and conventions industry is very positive. We've learned a lot in the last 12 months. We've learned a lot about COVID. We've learned a lot about how to deal with it. We've learned a lot about ourselves and how to work from home. None of what we've done here could have been possible without the efforts of all of you. From those who were working on the floor in the early days of March to design and then build the hospital, to those who provided us with meals when we needed them the most, to those who continued to handle our business and deal with all of our cancellations and delays and reschedulings, to all of those who are now focusing on new business and rebuilding the businesses that we had. All of this means we've been more than just a convention center for the last 12 months. And while we dearly wish to get back to being a convention center again, no one will ever forget the role that we played in the last 12 months. As Governor Cuomo said when he began this whole process with us, we saved lives. We saved lives then, we're saving lives now. I think the future is bright. I think the future is still a little way away. But by the time we get to the beginning of 2022, I expect we'll be filling the building again just as successfully as we have for the last 30 years. I can't wait to see you all again in person as soon as possible.